Karimuddin, and I'll be the one who is representing about the demography and the international issues and trend in global population. So what is demography? Demography is the statistical study of a human population, including their size, composition, and how they change through fertility, mortality, and migration. It examines population dimensions and dynamics covering entire societies or groups defined by criteria like education, nationality, religion, and ethnicity. So, demography is a study of a human population and the constant growth of a human population and the past records and future records or future theory of the population calculated. Just for example, one of the global issues is like population growth and distribution. The world population is expected to reach 9.7 billion in 2050 and nearly 11 billion by the end of the century. However, growth is uneven, with half of the increase expected from 9 countries like India, Nigeria, Pakistan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and other, etc. So technically the population growth of the world of the country is already calculated by some expert, and they already given the theory of the demography of the calculated population. So with the population growth and distribution, the expected population of the 2050 is 9.7, but it didn't go accurately as the theory goes. Parang mas naging ano pa siya, parang yung calculation hindi pa umabot sa 2050 is parang parang naka 50% na ng naka 50% na ng population yung mundo. Like for example, in the expected 2050 9.7 billion. So in 2030 yung population ng tao is unexpectedly naging so theoretically naging 7.8 billion, naging 8 billion na. So expectedly the theory of 9.7 billion in 2050 is nearly impossible because the fertility of a person and the mortality and the maraming din mga pinanganganak, marami yung just for example this past decades, this past years, the teenage pregnancy is growing up, and becoming more accurately in the Philippines. So the calculated population of the Philippines has become, the calculated population of the Philippines didn't meet the standard, like yung pagcalculate nila sa population is parang na-exceed na yung limit just because of the teenage pregnancy, because more of the kabataan in this year is they are giving birth, and they are giving more population, ganon. So that's how it explained the demography. So in demography meron din mga urbanization, aging population, kung ilan na yung mga old woman, kung ilan na yung mga bata. So it is not just calculating about the population of a person, of the population of the world, of population of the country. It is also referring to the age of a person, nationalities, and other aspects of the people. Just like for example, they are calculating on how many how many elder women are there in one country, and how many babies are there in one country. And they are making some studies, and they're recording it, like gumagawa sila ng record for them to analyze and construct some plans, or construct some theories that in the future they could mahulaan nila kung ano, mahulaan or may expect nila yung expected outcome ng yung mga taong matatanda, ng mga taong babies, and the expected population. So that's it. Thank you.
Everyone, I'm here to discuss my topic, which is synthesizing the concept of globalizations in relation to the demography and populations. Meaning nito, kung paano na means combining ideas about globalizations with the study of populations to understand how globalization connections influence population size, structure, distribute, and movements. Bale, population para maintindihan kung paano naepektuhan ang dami ng tao, edad, trabaho, tirahan at paglipat ng mga tao dahil sa connection ng mga bansa sa buong mundo. Dahil sa globalization, mas madali ang paglipat ng tao, which is immigrations, mas bukas ang trabaho sa ibang bansa, which is like mga nag-a-apply ka po, which is na mga OFW, mas mabilis ang palitan ng kultura, information ng technology, which is like full Filipino culture, which is like, for example, magpunta tayo doon sa ibang bansa, which is, for example, ikaw maggawa ka ng restaurant doon, which is yung Filipino culture dinadala mo sa ibang bansa. For example, like adobo, na which is sa Filipino lang yun meron, and saka pwede mo rin siya ibenta. Example of immigrations: nabawasan ang populations the working adults like sa Pilipinas. Bale, ito na yun. Like for example, like sa OFW, nabawasan yung mga tao sa Pilipinas, which is kailangan nila mag-work sa ibang bansa para like parang may kaya-kaya din through immigrations. Okay, synthesizing the concept of globalizations in relation to demography and populations means understanding how the global connections between countries affect population size, movement, and characteristics. Sa madaling salita, dahil sa globalization, mas madali ang paglipat ng tao, trabaho at informations, kaya naepektuhan ang dami ng populations. Kung saan nakatira ang mga tao at mga kanilang pamumuhay, ito ay magkikita sa immigrations, which is yung OFW. Yun lang po, thank you.
3. And now, I'm gonna explain about the theory of demographic transition and its effect on global population. The theory of demographic transition explains how a country's or population change as it developed from a traditional agricultural society into a modern, industrialized one. It showed the relationship between birth rate, death rates, and overall population growth over time. The model is divided into 4 main stages. The first stage is high stationary, birth rate high. Death rates are also high because of poor healthcare, disease, and limited food supplies. So dito sa first stage, balance lang yung pag-grow ng population. Hindi natin masabi na nag-grow at di rin natin masabi na nag-fall. Kasi nga, kaya nga sinabi ko nung first, birth rates are high. So ibig sabihin, mabilis ang pagbibigay ng birth. Ngunit, padali din nababawasan dahil sa poor of healthcare and disease and limited food supplies. So let's proceed to the next stage. Stage 2, early expanding. Death rates drop sharply due to better sanitation, medicine, and food production. Birth rates remain high. Population grow rapidly. Population expansion. So dito na sa second stage, early expanding. From the word early expanding, mas napapaaga yung pag-expand. Kasi nga, parang nalilimited na yung death rates kasi mas nagpo-provide na sila ng foods at mga needs ng mga needs ng population. So let's proceed to the stage 3. Late expanding. Birth rates begin to fall because families choose to have fewer children. Women gain education and family planning becomes available. Death rates stay low, population continues to grow but at a slower rate. So dito na nga, yung death rates dito sa stage 3 is stay low. Parang mababa lang yung death rates. Pero yung birth rates is mahina din, pero nag-grow pa rin yung population kasi nga limited lang dahil 'di ba alam naman natin yung ibang couple parang ayaw pa nila magkaanak, so focus pa sila sa mga goals nila, ganun ka napapahina. Hindi naman sabing walang improvement or hindi nag-grow yung population, nag-grow siya pero mabagal lang. So let's proceed to the last stage, stage 4, low stationary. Both birth and death rates are low. People have fewer children and health system are strong. Population becomes stable or grows very slow. So dito sa last stage, napaka-slow stationary lang siya kasi nga 'di ba, na-discuss naman natin kanina sa naunang stage, yung ibang sa birth stage, 'di ba, yung mga partner ayaw pa nila magkaanak. So balik, mabagal lang, slowly lang yung pagkakaroon ng birth. Alam naman natin 'yan. So sa death rate din, ganun lang din, mababa lang din yung death rates kasi nga kasi nga ngayon sa panahon ngayon medyo marami na tayong mga medicine, kaya nababawasan na din yung death rates. So ano nga ba yung effect of the demographic transition on global population? First, rapid population growth. Kasi nga sa birth rate nagbe-birth sila. So dun nag-grow yung population. Yun ang effect. Yun ang first effect, rapid population growth. Kasi nga pag yung partner, alam nyo na, mag-grow talaga yan. So next is aging population. Countries in stage 4 and 5 face more elderly people and fewer younger people. This affect job, healthcare, and the economy. So doon na nga sa second, sa country natin, yung effect sa transition yun to, may namamatay na rin. Hindi natin masabi na hindi sila mamatay kasi nga tumatanda na sila. Di naman, tsaka isa pa, kulang tayo ng gamot. Hindi tayo advance kaya kulang pa tayo ng gamot, kaya may namamatay pa din. Yun ang effect. Next is change in global power and economy. Countries with young growing population may have more works for economic productivity while aging countries. So dito, yung effect sa economy natin sa population is dahil nag-grow, nag-i-improve yung population natin. So dahil patuloy sila na magbigay birth, so patuloy pa rin pag-improve or pag-grow ng population. So yun lang.